One, two, three. Yeah!
Hi, Jeff Bennett.
Hi there, Van Partible. How you doing,
Um,
baby?
I'm doing well, thanks. It's been a while since I've seen you. That is the sentence I'm trying to form right now.
It
Um,
has. It's
but
it's
yeah,
been a little while, but we are here for animation heroes, and we're gonna raise a whole bunch of money, hopefully from a bunch of pretty people just like you. I will send in money so we can abolish leukemia and chemo forever. Ha! Ha! This is what we're talking about, right, baby?
I like when Johnny says things that are very serious, and he
Yeah,
he's taking on a cause.
right. Because it's like the later seasons when he suddenly got intelligent,
Yeah,
and we go, wait, why is he speaking in paragraphs when he used to only say like 3 words, like "Hey, pretty mama."
he's
That was it.
maturing. He's getting into a new phase of his life. But
Yeah, he started reading all kinds of important material and becoming super intelligent. But
right,
hey, I wanted to ask you a few things because I think the people want to know. The people out there that are watching this want to know, how did you make me so ruggedly handsome and pretty, man? All at the same time. I mean, what kind of angles did you use? How did you decide to make my hair so big and my muscles so massive?
that's an excellent question, Jeff Bennett. Um, I would like to share this thing that I have right here. So I have the
He's got a thing.
ability to share a screen, which
He's
is
got a thing for animation.
here's my desktop. I'm going to share my desktop.
Share the desktop.
Oh,
Let's see it. All data to 2022. I want to see it all.
can you see what I am bringing up right now?
Oh, yeah.
I
Hey,
put
there's
together
the
this thing
funds.
because people were always asking, what were like the inspirations for Johnny Bravo? And
This
this
was it.
as much as a comprehensive list that I can put together. So starting from the top left is Arthur Fonzarelli. Arthur Fonzarelli from Happy Days. For
Yo,
you who didn't
yes.
ever watch this show, he was just cool and he did all these awesome things. And I'm like, I would love to do a Fonzie type character that isn't cool. Johnny Bravo up the top, that's Barry Williams playing Johnny Bravo, the whatchamacallit, the
Alter ego.
alter ego of Greg
Yeah,
Brady.
that's
Um,
right.
the thing there, the reason why I chose Johnny Bravo, one of the reasons, is because it's also my name. My full name is Ephraim Giovanni Bravo Partible, and uh, Giovanni is Italian for John, so John Bravo is my actual middle name. So it's kind of like I could use this name, which is also my name, which is inserting myself to make me uniquely qualified to write this character.
That's a beautiful thing. I don't think I think most people would not know that at all. So
Huh,
that's great. And
there
I
you
think
go.
they know. I think they know about the guy in the middle.
Yeah, Elvis did
Yep.
his voice. I mean, that's kind of what we talked about. I wanted my student film was based on an Elvis wannabe.
Right.
That's the student film, the short film that Cartoon Network bought, that which we adapted into Johnny Bravo.
Yep.
So in order to adapt it and not make it Elvis, we started changing things about him visually. So if you move to the left, you have that picture of James Dean. I made a more of a James Dean character, but it was the 90s. So when I was talking to people, when I used to talk to the press, I go, he's kind of got this Elvis Presley, Luke Perry kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right.
Leonard Tuna was big at the time. At the
And he
top,
did come on, didn't he? He ended up
yeah, he
doing
did.
one of the
Yeah, he
shows.
came
Yeah.
on, and he was amazing. He was just such a neat person,
And his hair was massive.
right?
Yeah.
At the very top, you have Weird Al doing Fat.
Love Weird Al.
Anyone
Yep.
ever talks about this? Why would they? I talk about it. Um, when I was doing sound effects for my student film, um, I was watching this video, and whenever Weird Al would move in this video, there would be a sound effect. It would and then there would be weird sound effects after he'd he'd do that that
Oh, that's
whooshing
great.
sound.
I didn't even know that's where that came from. That's funny.
So the sound effects he would
Wow.
use random sound effects. So the whooshing sound is from Weird Al in Fat. I'm sorry, that from Michael Jackson, but then
Yeah,
Weird
yeah.
Al parodied it. So those two pictures right there. I loved Michael Jackson at the time, and I loved in Bad he would do that, and Weird Al parodied it, and I used that parody to my advantage.
Boy,
Um,
you sure did. Because that really did make it such a unique
yeah.
show at the time for animation. I mean, everything, it was, there were so many quick cuts. And I remember, I don't even know if we originally, you wanted the ha to begin with.
No, I actually didn't. You threw that in when I was auditioning you. I
I
was
couldn't
getting
remember if I threw it in or not. Yeah,
did. I have
that's
the
funny.
sides, and so you read it. None of them's ever seen. You had the I think I no, I don't. I had a yeah thing, but you did the and you did it with you did it very guttural, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really funny because Johnny did karate in the very first short, which was really funny. Yeah, I have to.
And I remember seeing a couple of those. I think it was the Hawaiian,
Yeah,
might have
the
been the Hawaiian or,
Amazon
or
one.
the comeback, one of those of Elvis's concerts. And he did, he did
Yeah,
those moves because he was like he was taking judo and those kind of things. And
yes,
he
he
did
was a
like,
martial arts master, and
he did the
so
karate.
in my student film, he did the karate because
Yeah.
that's kind of that was my I loved Elvis, so I watched him all the time. So I knew that he did martial arts, and I thought it was awesome and awkward at the same time because I'm like,
Yes.
here's someone that's amazing. He's this entertainer, and then he starts going into his martial arts, and you're like, what is happening? It's this mind-blowing thing, and it was amazing. And I was just like, okay, that you could use that as comedy because doing something out of the ordinary is cool. Like someone coming in, I thought this was funny. Someone who is hitting on someone to show off their martial arts skills is funny to me. And
Right.
it's
Right.
and it reeks of desperation. So anything that reeks of desperation,
Yes.
I would use for Johnny.
It
Um,
totally did. I mean, it was cool when Elvis did it, but not as much when Johnny did it.
yeah, right. So it's
It's
like,
like, hey, check my moves. Oh yeah. And then it
so
was like, what are you doing? You
if you
are
look at all
such
the
an idiot.
people, if you look at all the people here, it's like they're cool, but it's like let's take someone who thinks they could do the same thing that the cool people are doing, but do it in a way that's kind of loser-ish, right?
Right. And
Anyway,
what do you think your favorite episode or story with Johnny Bravo?
oh,
I know
what
mine.
you thank you for asking. um,
You have other art you'd
I
like to share?
no, I'm going to keep going, but we're gonna intersperse this lovely chat. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I really love the Valentine's Day episode.
Oh yeah.
It's a special. It's a half-hour special that I wrote and directed. It was right before I got the fifth season of Johnny Bravo, and it was funny. I wrote this really cool song that you guys had fun with you, Jess, and Joey McIntyre sang,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
totally
that was a
fun.
good one. That was a great one.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
And a
Um,
lot of people love the Christmas special, but my personal favorite is of course you probably know uh would be Adam West
yes,
because I couldn't keep it together when he was talking because he was so Adam Westy. He was so
right.
great. And every time he would say something like, "Johnny, let's go find your mama," I I would lose it. And Colette, I'm sure Colette remembers that it was hard for me to continue because
Well, speaking of Colette,
I couldn't keep it together.
on the line, if I would bring her in, if I'm connecting to the audio, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to bring in
Sometimes we should just stop sharing. Sometimes.
right? she's like, "Hey, I'm here," and there she would be.
Oh, there's the beautiful Colette right now.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hey, pretty mama.
Oh, thank you so much, Bubba. My big Bubba.
We were just talking about my favorite episode, Van's favorite episode first, and then my favorite episode, which was Adam West. And I said it was so much fun, and I knew it was one of your favorites too, because I couldn't even be professional that day. I just kept, again, I thought I can't look at him because he was so serious within his comedy, which he did so well. And then when he just went off with the "let's go find your mama" thing, I lost it.
I have never seen you not keep composure ever.
Yeah.
Hundreds of recordings we have done, and even remember we ran it through. We did a rehearsal, and at that you were side-eyeing him because, like you said, you didn't want to look at him. But oh my gosh, I will never forget the great Jeff Bennett, who always keeps it together. You could barely not be audible when he was recording. You were like trying desperately not to make any sounds.
Yeah, I actually thought I would have to be in another room because I was such a fan, still am, and just he was killing me. He was killing me.
Yeah,
Between he and Jonathan Winters was the other one who came up to me in the parking lot with his medical bag. He always used to carry a medical bag with him for many reasons, and then he pulled out of his pocket this thing and said, "Ever seen one of those before?" And I said, "No, Mr. Winter." And it was the first thing he said to me. And it was a Buckeye. That's a Buckeye. I'm from Ohio. And, these Buckeyes are floating all around. I always keep it with me in my pocket. And he just went on for 5 minutes about Buckeyes. And I was like, I am working with this legend in 5-10 minutes. And he's telling me about Buckeyes in the parking lot of Hanna-Barbera. It was great.
Do you remember? Okay, so you're in the parking lot. Van, remember when they would bring the catering truck would always come, in mid, and we broke. And I know Jeff knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Jonathan Winters decided that he was going to go out and hang out at the catering truck with all of Hanna-Barbera who comes down there. Well, everybody piled out as soon as word. I mean, we were like wildfire at that place. Anything cool's happening, everybody knew about it. You couldn't see the catering truck couldn't leave. There was hundreds of people surrounding this guy, and he was performing. He was having the time of his life. It was, I mean, let's face it, Van, the people that we had on that show, and Van would come in my office and go, "Okay, you know who we're asking for this week?" It's like, who? It was always like, who now, Van?
Farrah Fawcett, or Donny Osmond. Well, Donny Osmond was your pick from the beginning, right?
No,
you wanted him
actually,
from
he
the very
wasn't.
start.
You wanted the most random thing is we actually wanted to have Scott Baio.
That's right.
But
I forgot.
Scott Baio turned us down. And we were like, "Oh, okay." We have
hell no, I'm too cool for that shit.
In
right.
Bravo World. So he turned us down, and Donny Osmond was like, "I'm in." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, so much better." It's like we can have musical talent here, which is amazing. I love Donny Osmond.
And can you get your sister?
Can I just tell you something? So this is my favorite thing about this right now is that both of you are the only two people who have worked on the most Johnny Bravos ever. More than I have, more than the producer, more
That's
than
true.
any, because Jeff, you were in every single episode. None of the other actors were in all the episodes, and Colette, you were there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and then when I was let go of the show, you were also there.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you guys are the two connective threads through the whole
Bennett
series.
family.
The Bennetts. That's right,
Everyone thinks
because
we're brother and sister, and I love it.
yeah, Colette's
yeah.
maiden name is Bennett, so they they got, I think, on IMDb. There's still like, also fun fact, Jeff is the brother of Colette Sunderman. And I saw that one day and I went, wait, what?
And
Where did they come up with that? But it was because of Nah,
Did you ever get
don't
asked
worry.
that question, Jeff? If you're my brother?
I did. I don't remember if it was at one of the cons or somewhere else. It was like, "Are you really related?" And I'm like, "No, we're
I
not."
get
But
that all the time, and I just laugh now.
we love to pretend. We like to pretend that we are one big happy family
Yes,
that
don't you know
started at
that
Hanna-Barbera.
Jeff's entire career is because he's my brother. He has no talent.
Yeah, yeah.
Just keep pity casting.
Yeah,
for
you know
Jeff
how he
Anderson.
got in. Yeah, because he's your brother. That's how he got in. Yeah. That's pretty funny, though.
I wish I had a talent that Jeff Bennett has.
So, random question. So, how was Luke Perry? Because you were with both of them. I didn't know, I wasn't in the booth, but Jeff was in the booth, right? I don't know if he came in and you guys worked together, or did he come by himself? Do you remember, Colette?
He
Trying to
came in by
remember.
himself. Jeff, I don't think you were in there. I think we got him in and out in good
Yeah,
time.
I think
But I don't think, Jeff, you were there. I'm trying to remember because I can see him. It was at Cartoon
I
Network.
feel like we were there for a while, but I don't think we were there during his whole recording. Maybe we were just finishing up.
Right.
I
And
just
then he
remember
came
him
in at the
talking
end.
about the hair and saying, I just wanted to make sure that my hair was as big as Johnny's when I came in.
He was-
I do remember that.
and
He
he
was like, I had to make sure it was
delightful.
just huge.
He
Oh,
had
he
the
was
best
great.
time. That's one
Yeah.
thing that we did on that, our Johnny Bravo family is that anybody who was coming in, because a lot of them were coming in for the first time on mic, because Van's requests were so amazing that a lot of people had never been on mic before. They were on camera, so they would come in, but I would love to put them in with Jeff and just watch their reactions to watching the master at his performances, and they would go, "Oh, Bar said hi. Okay,
Yeah,
I
he's a
can do
weirdo.
this." But
I didn't think I was going to have to
everybody-
be that energetic. Whatever.
That's a
So
lot
my
of
favorite,
energy.
my favorite random one was Mac Davis,
Ugh.
because Mac Davis worked with Elvis. And so I don't even know if you remember what he did when he
I
Got his
totally
guitar?
did. And he did his version of A Little Less Conversation,
Yes.
which was his song. He
Yeah.
basically
Yes.
wrote that song, and then it came out, I don't know, it came out in the 90s sometime or
Yeah.
early 2000 or something. And I had no idea he wrote that song, but I loved his version of it. And he just sat down and started singing, little less conversation,
guitar.
little more action. It was great.
And do you
And they
remember
amazing.
came ready.
my favorite thing was he went up to you and he's all, "Hey, can you say my mom's mashed potatoes?" Like in that voice. And then
That's right. I just wanted to say, my mama's mashed potatoes.
And then he like closed his eyes. He's like, "Yeah, that's it."
Yeah, that was magical.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac Davis was my first Las Vegas performance I had ever seen.
Wow.
Like turned 21, I went and saw him. So that was like a full circle moment for me to have. And I don't know, did we request him to bring his guitar? I think that
Okay,
was just
so that's
added.
why I got mad at you, Colette, because the first time we did request him to bring the guitar, and then he brought it. The second time he brought it again. The third time he came in, he didn't bring in his guitar, but I wanted him to sing like Memories or something like that. I wanted him to sing In the Ghetto, but you said, "Oh, he's gonna come back anyways." I didn't want him to think that we only wanted him here for his guitar playing, and I was like, but it is the reason why we want him here for his guitar playing. But we never got him back for a
That's
fourth
funny.
time. So we missed.
We all
then
had-
there is a goal.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a goal. I'm putting it out. Universe.
Bring him back.
Oh,
Bring
but he
Mac
passed
back.
away. That's the sad
Yeah.
part.
I know.
Yeah.
I am not gonna regret what we didn't get, what we
No.
got.
What we
No,
got
and
was
you know
amazing.
what? We all had different requests too, because I was like, "Can we get him to do Baby Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me?" that was a huge hit back in 70,
Yeah.
sometime
right.
back there when I was just a little lad,
I
So, yeah,
love
it was
Mac,
great.
but I got to tell you, one of my best memories was Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
She came in. I had not a lot of expectations, and the girl was as good as my VO talent. I mean, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, what can I get her in on? Like she's gonna come and play with us on anything, you know? But she was amazing, not only gorgeous and wonderful to work with,
Right.
and let's do it again. If you're not happy, oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again. She was so gracious.
Yeah, she
But
was so willing to do whatever we wanted her to do. And the fun thing it was her and Alec Baldwin. So Alec Baldwin was recording from another studio out in the Hamptons or something like that.
yes.
And so they just played against each other. And we put up a picture of Alec Baldwin on there that she could work against.
Isn't that amazing though that I got to look forward to working with all these amazing stars every week, and I don't even know how you got them. That was one of my
And
questions
ask
too. Is like,
Collab.
how did you actually get them to agree to come on with us, you know, unknown VO types?
Well,
Therefore, the name of my production company, As You Wish, Van.
As you wish, man.
but the funny things are the people that didn't end up doing it. Like, for instance, John Tesh. We wanted to get John Tesh to do this, and he was gonna do it. We wrote a whole little bit about John Tesh. Like, we had lines where he would say Tesh-tastic, things like that. And then he was scheduled to come in, and then he questioned it. He's like, "What is this show?" And they're like, "We're like, it's Johnny Bravo." It's like, "Has it been on yet?" It's like, "No, it hasn't been on." He's like, "Oh, then I don't want to do this." And we're like, "Wait, what? What?" I think that was his agent talking. The agent like booked him, and then it was like, "I have no idea why
Yeah.
you're doing this." So he
Sorry
was
about that.
pushed out of there. And then the other one was, I think, Paula Abdul. She was supposed to do one of the Jungle Boy episodes.
Oh
And
wow.
and Roger Rose was all excited to go meet her again because he had interviewed her on VH1, but he
That's right.
basically-
Roger. Oh,
and then she
Love that.
then she dropped out. And then but we still have a joke in there where we have a snake, and some little Susie says, well, calls Johnny a cold-hearted snake or something like that, and the snake goes, "Hey, what does that mean?" But anyway,
Right.
I think the most
It's
random
the
thing.
Paula Abdul reference. Sorry, she couldn't make it.
Segue
She's-
to little Susie. I mean,
She's
me,
dancing her.
Margaret,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were Whitman. I can see her, Van, on
Yeah.
the stool at 4 years old,
Right?
in the booth at old Hanna-Barbera, Coenga, and and I also can see her years later when
Yeah.
she's in her mid-20s, and I'm still getting the deliveries that I could from little Susie, and we used it. It was a great feat for me. It was like, yes, let's keep the same people.
One of the cutest things that
The heart.
well, just because of the length of my career, our careers. So I started working with May like at the very beginning because that was like her first voiceover job, right? And
Right.
so fast forward to now, a couple of years ago, I started working with Juliet Donenfeld. Do you guys know Juliet Donenfeld? She was nominated for an Annie Award for her vocal performance. And she's about 7, 8, 9 in that realm on Pete the Cat. Anyways, the show that May
Yeah.
what was it called? About with gosh, Good Girls or something like that.
The Good Girls? Yeah, Good Girls.
The Good Girls. So she is on the
With,
Good
May
Girls.
Margaret. Oh, yes.
So May Whitman on the Good Girls. She had a flashback episode where this girl Juliet Donenfeld played her.
Played her as a little girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun that I got to work with both of them at the beginning of their careers.
2
But
degrees to
Yeah.
Van Hartable is a good place to be.
I know everyone's connected to Van. It's funny too because I remember her and being amazed at how good she was and how well spoken and well read.
Yeah.
She was on the lines, and she was 4 or 5 years old, you know. And then
Yeah.
there were a couple of weeks where she was missing. They're like, she couldn't be here this week, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, is she sick? Oh no, she's auditioning for Robert Altman in Atlanta.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, for God's sake, this girl is already like, she's a huge hit.
Right?
And you know, she's an amazing actress.
I
always
remember
has been. And She'll have a
Several-
longer career than all of us.
Yeah. Yes.
I was talking with Seth MacFarlane, and he brought her on to Family Guy. And one of the other producers, when she came in, there's the little Mae Whitman comes into the booth, and they're like, "Can this girl act?" Was one of the producers was just wondering,
Ah.
"Why did you hire this person?" kind of thing. Seth's like, "Just sit back, just
Calm
let her do
down.
her thing." And then she did her thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to question you," because it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's just an amazing actress.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Very much so.
She brings it every time. And the other thing, the hardest thing I remember at some point was to keep Brenda Vaccaro
Yes.
from saying the F word or whatever in front of May, who was like 5 or 6, and she'd go, Where'd you get the damn jewelry? Oh my God, I love your damn earrings. Yeah, effing blah blah. You know, it's like, she's 5. Okay. Slow it down,
I'd
Brenda.
be on the
Call it
button,
PG,
and then you guys are in the booth, and I'd be, kids, yeah, she's a kid, you know. Brenda,
Tell your mama where the hell you got that. Tell your
Yeah.
mama where the hell it came from.
Yeah. She was so funny. Oh my gosh.
oh my gosh,
no,
you guys,
no,
Good
Thank you.
times. People, good times.
and I think we need to just make it happen again somehow, maybe a different. Come on, Van.
Right.
because
We're
it's
here to
all up to
support
me.
you.
My idea.
No.
Yeah. I think we did talk about this at one of the cons, that it might be a good idea to have Johnny canceled every week,
Yeah,
because that's what would happen now, is that he'd be canceled all the time. You probably couldn't make,
You know what? That's
know,
true.
this particular cartoon the way we originally did it. What if he could be canceled every week? Hey, man, what's he going to do this week?
That would be
Who's-
funny.
Who's he going to pee off this week?
Yeah, well, we would just pee them off because we were peeing them off. The scripts would be like scrutinized. I don't know
Yeah.
that we could get anything actually recorded, right?
No,
No,
it'd have to
I
be
would-
well scrubbed, Johnny Bravo.
I would love to do another one. It's just a matter of them allowing me to do it. So if we could get enough momentum, that would be amazing. But
Let's make it happen.
right,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
yeah,
More Johnny
absolutely.
Bravo. More
but in the
Johnny
meantime, send in your $100
Bravo.
to Animation Heroes, babies. That's what we want.
Please. 100K
Happen.
heroes, please, please, please. Near and dear to my heart. Would be amazing. They're so close.
Yeah.
And we just need to get a few people to become heroes along with us. So yeah, thank you guys. I can't, from the bottom of this little mama's heart,
yeah.
seriously. Yeah.
So how did you get involved
Amen.
with this organization, Colette?
You know what? It's just like you and I would be sitting around, Van, and we would come up with these, brainstorming ideas. And I was, I have worked with Joe Sitka, who is, another producer, Scoobies, a lot of the Scoobies. And then we also worked together on the Muppet Babies. And he is a survivor of lymphoma.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at some point in time we had talked about my oldest, Cherise, who passed away from leukemia. And we would just have these discussions and knew, without really going into depth, what each of us had gone through, or I should say he
Right.
and Cherise. And we always said we wanted to give back. And Joe came to me with this amazing opportunity. And it was like, finally, my goodness, can I use the people that are near and dear to me, that I work with for all these 30 plus years? I started at Hanna-Barbera in the 90s, and she had in 1990, and she had just passed away the year before.
Hmm.
So, this has been waiting for this opportunity to be in a position where I could ask you guys to do something like this. But that is the origin of how this came to be. And, us being, hooked up with, partnered with the Lymphoma or the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and then us pitching it to Mattel, and we're going around to a couple other, companies and corporations and studios. And
Wow.
let's do it. Let's support.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. I don't know. I can only pray that someday the chemo that kids take is just a pill that you smash up rather than having to go in and getting an IV treatment, which if you're a parent of a child, because Charisse was quite young when she was diagnosed before she was 2, and she didn't pass away until she was almost 8.
Mm.
So we were in and out of remission. And so it was, there's a lot of trauma with having to poke kids to get, their level. So
Yeah.
a pill,
Absolutely.
if that's a possibility.
Yeah. Let's make it
Back
happen.
in '89, they
Let's
said,
make it
"Hey,
happen.
we're so close to a cure," and I'm like, "It's 2024.
Yeah.
No cure? Then let's make
Oh,
it
yeah.
less traumatic."
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Not to bring this down because this has
Closer every
been
year,
such a
I'm
great.
sure.
No,
But
it's
that's
kind of
it.
like the
No,
Jerry
no,
Lewis
it's
telethon. It's like there's good stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And there's thoughtful stuff, but it's like you just gotta
Yeah.
bring people in.
Timpani, roll the timpani.
Right?
Let's get Jerry Lewis back.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I love that
Mm.
thing. I would
Yeah.
always that was always the Jerry Lewis telethon was the thing to watch before school started. Like that happened
Right.
Memorial.
Labor Day, and then school started the next day.
Was it Labor Day?
We
Yeah,
went out.
right.
Yeah, we went out and collected in our neighborhood all the
Yeah.
time, every year for muscular dystrophy, the MD telethon. Yeah.
Nobody missed that.
No,
No.
nobody did. And him doing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the end all the time. I mean, it was a beautiful thing, and they raised a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So, and Ed McMahon was there too.
Yes, he was.
Right?
Well, this has been great.
Yes.
It's great to
It's
see
just so
both of
good
you
to
again.
See you both.
Yeah.
Well, I
We-
get to see Jeff. I still get to play, but Van, I miss
No.
you.
I know. I miss you too. We'll just go have lunch. That's
Okay.
what we can do, and we can talk about this forever because we've only touched the tip of the iceberg about memories.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
know.
yeah.
Oh
I mean,
no, you're
like you said, we could go on for hours.
yeah, no.
Easily.
Van's Johnny
Yep.
Bravo. Van's Johnny Bravo has to have some record of the most celebrities that I've ever brought on to a series. And Van was so eclectic in what he wanted
Oh, thank
that
you.
it was
Right.
fun. It was so
Right.
much fun to see what these people were going to bring. So
Yes, I thought it was super cool. But thank you so much for being a part of it. That you guys are the legacy. So it's like if I don't talk about it, you guys get to talk about it all the time because you were there. So that's
we
amazing.
were there. We were there because
Yeah,
of
but
you.
I couldn't have been me without you, baby. You know that.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
Thank Colette for doing this, and I hope everybody
Yeah,
pitches in and we make the goal.
Ah,
absolutely.
So
from your
Absolutely.
lips
Please
to
do.
God's ears. Let's make this happen.
exactly.
Thanks, guys.
We'll
All right.
talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Yes, we'll all talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Brother.